Very interestingly, 2024, I don't think Trump's going to run again. That's my opinion. I know some people disagree, but a really interesting topic is, and a great question, I want to hear your thoughts on it. If he doesn't run, who would you like to see run? And do you think he's going to run? And if he does run, would somebody like a Ron DeSantis challenge him? Fascinating to think about.
Yeah, they're all prognosticating questions that are all very interesting. I spent New Year's actually over at the Trump Hotel in Washington, but it will not be named the Trump Hotel for very long. It's
I've
already
heard.
been sold and it's going to be rebranded, which to me suggests if you're going to run for president, why would you go ahead and do that in the city where you want to come back and work because it is a home base and sort of a social hub for Trump fans. And so that was an interesting trend. I do know from people close to him that I haven't talked to him about it myself, but people around him say he really, really wants to run again. He really does. And he's waiting to see what happens after the midterms. And if the Republicans do well in the midterms, he will take that as sort of a sign for him to kind of ride that wave. And also the fact that Joe Biden's popularity continues to sink, I think is more evidence, at least in his mind. But the thing is, if he doesn't run, I think someone like where I live across the river from DC and Virginia, someone like Glenn Youngkin, I'd love to see Glenn Youngkin run in 2024. And I think he showed the model for being able to talk to the grassroots and to treat them with respect, but also to be serious-minded in policy and to be focused on, kitchen table issues. And I think what he did by swinging the electorate by 12 points was remarkable. He swung it in 12 points away from what Trump did. Trump lost by 10 points. Youngkin won by 2 points. And so I think he would be someone, and DeSantis would be a very strong contender as well. So I think there are a lot of possibilities. I also like Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. I think he has a lot of potential. Kristi Noem has been put up as probably more as a running mate. She doesn't come from a very large state, but she does have that star power and the ability to really motivate people. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
What about Chris Christie? The reason I bring this up, because I think one of the unappreciated gaps, or I shouldn't say gaps, but opportunities for Democrats is about 25% of Republicans really feel that January 16th was as bad as I say. And they really do feel that democracy is under threat. And that, if the Democrats can ever get their act together, which is a very big if, listen, I think one of the differences between you and me is that I hold both parties accountable. And just to give you an example, New Year's disgrace here, the Democrats' total abandonment on taxing the wealthy. Whether or not you agree with it, that's supposed to be a pledge. And how bad has it gotten? Al Sharpton was lobbying to keep the carried interest loophole, the egregious provision that allows hedge fund managers to get capital gains for rates for the risk-free management of other people's money. So Democrats really need to get their act together, because once again, if they lose the White House in 24, just like in 2016 and in 2000, it'll be they lost more than the other side won.
We shall see.